Hi guys, if you've made it to this video, that means that you have completed at least 2 other drawing activities aside from our group activities. So that means you have either done continuous blind contour drawing, negative space, non-dominant hand, or upside down. Essentially, cross contour is not one of the first things that you should do. This should be one of the last things that you do. Okay? On my board, I have a do's and a don'ts. You only have to do the do's. Please don't do the don'ts. But this is just for me to illustrate to you how it doesn't work, right? By this point, you should have some experience with your contour line drawings. Again, contour line drawing is a line that defines the edge of a form, so that means interior lines, but it does not mean texture or value, okay? What you should start out by doing, and I suggest doing this with your hand because your hand is a very good object to do this with. Other things that are good would be glass bottles or mugs. I would not try to do it with any of the fake flowers or the helmets or seashells. I would definitely do it with your hand or one of our glasses or our mugs, okay? I'll be doing it with my hand today. The way you should start out is by doing a contour line drawing of your object. In my case, I'm going to be doing a contour line drawing of my hand. I've already done one here to show you what not to do. I'm going to do a second one over here while you watch to show you what to do. Okay? So I'm going to hold my hand in one place, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see my head or not, but you're going to see me looking forth and back from my paper to my hand, from my paper to my hand. I'm going to keep my hand in the same position the whole time that I am doing it, right? 1 second. I need to sit a little lower. I'm going to start with my thumb, work my way around, using those continuous blind contour skills, those contour skills, and especially those negative space skills. Oh, I guess I should do it in markers so you guys can see what I'm doing. Using my negative space skills now to really look at how that area, the spaces around my fingers are acting. One finger's a little wonky, I'm gonna fix it. Okay. I'm gonna add a few of these interior lines where my knuckles and things are, just to kind of help out. Especially my nails. Adding my nails always helps me see where things fall. Okay, so I have my contour line drawing of my hand, which you can go ahead and do now. Pause the video, do your contour line drawing, and then come back would be my suggestion. What we're going to do now is apply cross contour lines onto your contour line drawing. The idea of these cross contour lines is that it helps you as the artist and any viewer of your work really see your contour line drawing as a three-dimensional object. As you move forward and are attempting to draw realistic representations from observation or even from reference images, doing these cross contour lines and then using them to apply value can be very, very helpful to getting a realistic look. Okay. I'm going to start with my thumb, and again, I'm going to look at my object as I am doing it. And when we look at my hand, your thumb in particular juts out from your palm, right? And kind of this almost like oval-like shape here, right? So when I apply these cross contour lines to my contour line drawing, what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to draw on my hand to show you guys, what I'm going to do is apply lines that will show that contour, right? So on my drawing, I'm going to do that same thing, where my contour of this part of my hand is kind of like ovaled. Right? And I'm going to work my way up the thumb doing the same thing, because I've got, my thumb has got that shape as well, right? Alright, so you start to see the dimensions of that part of your hand. What you don't want to do is come across, right, here's my thumb area on my contour line drawing. What you definitely don't want to do is draw straight lines. If you draw straight lines across your contour, you're automatically going to make that object look very, very, very flat. Right? We can see already, if you compare these two thumbs, the straight lines look like a very flat, two-dimensional thing, where my thumb down here has started to take shape. Right? Now we're going to move across to my palm. Your palm's a very different thing, because your thumb comes out towards you, right? So it's this convex shape. Your palm, on the other hand, divots in, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from my thumb, and then I'm going to work my way across my palm. Here, I come out, then it goes in, then it goes out, then it goes in, then it goes out again, right? It goes out, then it goes in and out. It goes out, then it goes in, then it goes out, right? Those same lines are going to be applied across my drawing, because I want to show that this finger comes out, divots down, comes out, divots down, comes out, and then ultimately comes out. And then I'm going to repeat that for the shape that my hand takes. Oop, that one wasn't very good. What I'm trying to show here is that the center part of my hand here divots in, and this part is raised out. The more lines you use in a cross contour, the easier it is for that viewer to see, the easier it is for you to read when you go to apply value. So say you were using this technique to help you apply value to a drawing, what you would do is obviously not do this cross contour in Sharpie, but you would do your cross contour in pencil, so you're able to shade right over it. Now let's go up to the don'ts again. If I do the same technique where I'm covering my palm, but instead of making my lines very deliberately, right, so where I've indented here, I've outdented here and outdented here, if I do those lines less deliberately, say I just go like this, this is not going to give the viewer or me any information about the actual shape of the hand, right? I'm going to continue now down into my wrist. My wrist is like a cylinder. It has a very cylindrical shape to it. So those lines that I'm going to apply to my drawing are going to also take on that cylindrical shape. Right? So I'm going to come down here. Right. So you're starting to see that that wrist is 3D. Again, if I apply straight lines across, does not communicate the shape of my wrist at all. Okay? I'm going to continue my way up my fingers the same way that I'm continuing with my wrist. My wrist is a cylindrical object. My fingers are just smaller cylindrical objects. What I have to make sure that I'm doing, though, is changing those cross contour lines at the bends of my finger. So I'm working up my middle finger here. Right? I'm drawing this line there. And then I'm working up that finger to show the cylindrical nature of it. When I get to that knuckle, it's probably a good idea to switch the direction of those lines. You'll notice at the tip of the finger I got even more dramatic with the curve that I was drawing, because that tip of your finger is very, very round, much rounder than the cylindrical nature of your fingers, right? What you don't want to do, again, if we come up to the fingers here, and you're doing your contour lines across the finger, do not forget to change directions at your knuckle. If I just do my contour lines all the way up and forget to change the direction of that line at that knuckle, this again is giving me no definition of what that finger actually looks like, right? And then I'm going to continue on with my four fingers here, and we'll see what happens. Again, still looking at my actual hand. Getting to that knuckle and making sure that my direction of my lines is shifting with the knuckle. As I get further up, I'm getting more and more curved because the tip of my finger is a very round part of my finger. Same deal, pinky. Very rounded at the top. One last finger. Okay. Again, if I go straight lines, gives me no information about the curve of that finger, and even if I do the correct type of line, but I do too few of them, right? See how I've only used about 5 lines here compared to the 15 lines I'm using down here. If I'm doing too few lines, it also gives me no information. If you do absolutely nothing, obviously that also gives you no information. Now, if you were to use this further on, and you do not have to do this with your current drawing, but if you were to do this further on, you could use these lines to indicate to you where you need to shade your darkest and where you need to shade your lightest. Anywhere where you have a curved line, that high part of the curved line, that center part of that curved line, in theory should be pointing out at you. So that means that this area, right, and this area are going to be your light parts, where the ends of those lines where they go in are going to be your darker parts, or like your divot here, these lines are going to be your darker parts. So for instance, if I were to apply this to my hand, I would know that I need to shade darkest on the sides of my thumb here, and on the interior of my thumb. But that as I work my way towards the center on each side, I can get lighter. Right? To really show the dimensions of that hand. Same thing across your palm. This is my divot here. So my high parts are going to be my highlights, and then inside my divot where my hand divots down would be my dark parts. And I can fade out and fade back. As with our other drawings, if you are doing a cross contour, I ask that you do 3 cross contours, whether that be 3 different views of your hand or 3 different views of an object that you chose. Again, if you're choosing an object, I would stick with either a mug or a glass bottle. I would not choose to do the fake flowers or any of the instruments or seashells. All right, go ahead and give it a try.